We are killing the future. Killing the future. Killing the future.
Adam, welcome to the show, and I'm glad to have you on again, man. I know I've interviewed you in the past. I know you've been really, really busy. I think you've been booking gigs like every single weekend. And how have things been going, man? How's the tour going?
Well, first off, man, good to talk to you again, too, brother. And thank you very much for having me on. And definitely an honor to be back with you, man. As far as the tour and the way things are going for the band right now, things are real positive for us. We got a couple more album release dates coming up. We released it not long ago down at the Music City Liberty Fest in Nashville, Tennessee. So we've got a handful more coming up, including our original hometown, which is Detroit area, Michigan. We're going to be releasing the album there on November 9th, and then Columbus, Ohio, November 10th, and then State College, November 16th at State College, Pennsylvania, and then back in our new hometown of Baltimore, Maryland on November 17th at the Auto Bar.
Oh, very cool. I was hoping to be able to get to see you guys in Detroit. I was going to try to make the trek over there, but I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. I'm going to still try to get to see you guys. Hopefully you get a little bit closer to Iowa. I'd love to see you guys. And one of the things I wanted to bring up, I've seen some of the videos of concert footage and when you're playing some of these venues. And one thing I wanted to ask is, I see you get kind of caught up in the music, and I see that, and you just get so wound up. And then I've seen you go into the crowd, and it's like you make a beeline for the crowd, the people in the crowd that are wearing the Rebel Ink shirts, and you just get crazy, man. I mean, it's you guys are pushing each other around. Have you ever had anybody kind of look at you strange, like, oh, what's this guy doing?
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. In fact, it happens a lot out on the tour, especially to places where Rebel Ink has been, several times, and we've been able to grow, a family out in that area. But there's definitely a time that flashes to mind real quick. We were opening up for Seether and Red Jumpsuit Apparatus at Rams Head Live out here in Baltimore, and it was a sold-out crowd, over 2,200 people, and, the doors were at 7:30 or whatever, and Rebel Ink was on at 8 p.m., and it's like, we don't usually play so early, so it's kind of strange, the crowd hasn't had anything to drink yet or whatever,
right.
So they're not really loosened up.
Right.
But we walked on that stage at 8 p.m., and the place was packed, like wall to the wall. You already could not move in the place, and we're just like, it's on, like this is the time. And I think we got a 25 or 30 minute set, man, and we just ripped it up. Like after every song, people were just screaming at the top of their lungs. But during the song, like, when we're super active, and jumping all over the place, and like you're saying, beelining people, pointing at people, calling people, and people were just kind of like, they're kind of jaw dropped sometimes, like you can see them kind of bobbing their head, but other than that, like it's almost like they're still kind of too afraid to cut loose. But as the set goes on, you can tell they got more and more energy, and before you know it, they're starting to either mosh or do whatever. And during 909 Revolution, I jumped down into the crowd, sold out crowd, man. So I'm just in a sea of people, and there was like a couple guys in Rebel Ink shirts there, and a couple guys that I was watching during the show, and girls that were just like jumping and raging, and I'm just like, that's the Hot Pocket, like that's the people that get it, I'm in there, I'm going right there, and man, I had my shirt off, so I'm just pouring sweat, and I'm in this sea of people, and I'm jumping up and down, and this girl is behind me, like she couldn't be more grossed out right now, because she's got this long-haired, soaking wet with sweat, topless, dirty-ass dude just jumping all over. But nonetheless, man, we pretty much caught it on camera, I believe, in one of our photos. So,
very
but
nice.
It's one that I'll never forget, man. I was laughing after the show.
One of the things that I've noticed is how much you guys have grown just in the last few months, and you kind of made the media rounds to different shows and things like that. I know we talked about this in the past about being contacted by major record labels and things like that. Are you getting more contacts by record labels and things like that? And I know how you guys feel, and I really respect you guys for what you're doing and how you're doing it, and not quote unquote selling out. But have you been contacted more?
I mean, we haven't. We've met more people that have that are, in positions that can probably make things happen, as far as, that have become fans of Rebel Inc. music. And, like recently, actually back at the beginning of the year, Jim Florentine bought an album from VH1's That Metal Show, bought an album and a t-shirt, online right from our website. And we're looking at the, Jim Florentine, like, is that really the Jim Florentine? Like, no way, we're just laughing. It's like, whatever. And then days go by and we're not even thinking about it. And next thing you know, like, we get a message from Jim Florentine, just like, yeah, that was me, dude. Like, love your stuff, man. It was just like, damn. And then he recently wore one of our t-shirts on That Metal Show with, Marilyn Manson. I think John 5 was the guitar guest. And then Steve Harris of Iron Maiden was on that show as well. So it's a pretty heavily watched show. And Jim Florentine's sitting on set wearing a Rebel Inc. shirt, man.
Very nice, man. I know I rock mine whenever I can. Whenever it's clean, I've got it on. I wear it to work. And I've had a few people ask me, and I just, I'd give them the website and tell them to go grab the music and check it out. That it is really awesome music. I play it just about every night at work. I work third shift, so I'm driving down the road, and anytime I need a little pick-me-up, I'm definitely rocking you guys. Now, the new album is coming out on for worldwide release. I know you set some dates earlier about the certain releases at each venue that you're going to be at. The worldwide release is on the 20th, and that's when anybody can go on your site. Anybody can go on your site on the 20th from all over the world, and they can grab your album.
Well, anybody can go to our site right now.
Oh, okay.
And order it. So they can go to rebelincmusic.com right now, and you can order the brand new Rebel Inc. CD, Soundtrack to the Revolution, and it will ship as close to immediately as possible.
Oh, okay.
But as far as being like 100% worldwide distribution, like on iTunes and all these other, digital distribution sites, that will be a 100% go on November 20th.
Oh, okay. Very cool. I'm definitely waiting on mine. I pre-ordered mine a while back, so I'm waiting anxiously to get that.
Yours is in the mail then, man, because there was a ton of envelopes lining our hallway right here with T-shirts and CDs and all kinds of things. Just kind of like what you said recently. The last couple months we seem to have really been growing a lot. The tours have been going really well as far as response and a growth in number of the crowd or in size of the crowd, and things are just looking really positive right now. And the new album coming out, I mean, it's like we're on a pretty good positive vibration. When Jim Florentine actually came to town to do his comedy show, which is hilarious, by the way, and I would advise anybody who has Jim Florentine coming to their town, definitely go check him out, man. He's a hilarious guy for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
We saw him when he came into town and gave him a copy of the new album. It was a burned copy because we didn't have the actual album in our hands yet,
Right.
And we got a text message from him, Kevin, our guitar player. Got a text message from him like 5 days later, just like, hey, it's Jim Florentine. The new album is amazing. So as of right now, man, I mean, Jim Florentine is really digging the new album, and I mean, put the word amazing on it, So hopefully some more things with Jim in the future, man. He's a cool guy, dude. It was great to meet him.
Very cool, man. You have a certain idea when you're going to create an album and the message you're trying to put out there, and your message has been pretty much the same the entire time. Do you have a specific goal to achieve with this album?
Well, it's kind of, we have this underlying feeling of everything, and we didn't like sit down to write this album that's going to to change the world. Like, we write songs on a song by song basis. Our goal is to make the most powerful song that we believe we can make every single time we sit down to write a new song. And then when we feel like we have enough songs and we're good enough at playing, like we record them and then make an album with them. So
right.
I think that the entire emotion has been underlying the entire time. And as you know, like, we're very point blank. We're very direct and very in your face about things. But ultimately, no matter what, it all comes down to perception. However people, however they hear your words, because, the same sentence said the same way to two different people can be taken a completely different way. You know what I mean? But I think something that's when we were recording every single song in this album, I just remember just like pure anger. Just like red, blood squirting from the eye, anger. And I remember feeling that like every single time we went in to record.